Well, welcome everybody back to the channel where a sad 70-year-old tries to make sense of being that age with your help. And I think I referred in one of my previous videos that one of the things that kind of gets to you maybe at this stage of your life is decluttering. And possibly a more accurate description was provided by a Swedish woman not long ago, who's unfortunately since died, but wrote this book about Swedish death cleaning. And her thesis, not unreasonably, was that when you finally shuffle off this mortal coil, it's a good idea not to be able to think about your relatives down on earth cursing you because you've left them with a whole load of junk and stuff in your house which they are going to have to deal with. And so this particular Swedish person advises you to get rid of as much as possible while you're still in a physical and mental capacity to be able to do it. And so I've progressively, with a little bit of help from family members and so forth, have tried over the last few months to get rid of a lot of the detritus and debris that I have managed to compile over the years. Now, I'm not talking in this video so much about furniture and things like that, which is a separate issue I might come to, but I'm really thinking about all the stuff that I've gathered together for maybe what I would laughingly call leisure purposes. And one of the hard things that you learn about this when you're seeking to get rid of all those things that maybe people born in the 50s or 60s acquired over the years for entertainment, you soon realise that actually in the 21st century these things have really relatively little or no resale value. And this is something I am finding a little bit hard to deal with, not because I think I deserve the money or that I think things ought to be more worth than they are, but it just means that pieces of kit that I've really enjoyed over the years have now been superseded, and there isn't really a home for them in lots of ways. So if you can see, look at the stuff I've got arrayed around me, and the key things I guess to start with are what we've for a long time kept our entertainment media on, leaving aside all my vinyl, which I have got rid of a few months ago, after all having nothing to play it on for 35 years. I still have a DVD player, and I do still have a CD player, and I think I have respect for these materials. And the other aspect of it is that slightly concerns me if I were to get rid of them, is that they aren't really very recyclable. So I've tended to cling on to CDs and DVDs, probably more than I ought to. Now they say there is a movement for people to go back to hard data because they don't like the thought of all their content staying up in the ether with Spotify and Amazon, whomever. But that, I think, is another issue. I'm not quite kind of dealing with that so much. Now also books, that's another one that I sort of, I love bookshelves full of books. It, kind of makes you feel a bit literary even if you've never read them. I mean, who's read that Stephen Hawking book, for example, but you always had it on your shelf, kind of, didn't you? Well, I did. So again, these, you see these in charity shops now. Books are, £1, 50p, and so forth. And again, that's just, books are on their way out, I suppose, though they forecast that would happen sooner, and everybody didn't put everything on their Kindles. Now, apart from these sorts of portable media and so forth, the other aspect that I've had trouble with getting my mind around having no utility or resale value is actually some of the tech kit that I've had in my time, particularly looking at the iPads. Now, when I was going through all my stuff, I hadn't actually used this before. This is the original iPad 15 years ago, an iPad 1. It feels like, by comparison with any tech today, weighs a ton. And I was amazed that I hadn't touched it for 10 years, and powered up straight away, charged very easily. And after a bit of research, I finally found that it just about has two uses. and that's it. You can't use it for the simple things like browsing or WhatsApp or anything like that. That's all gone because the operating system is too old. The two things it will do, and I have used it for both now, is you can use it as your music player if you have a feeling like I do just at the moment, that I want to move everything off, as much off my main communications phone as I can. This has proved very useful for this. You can put, it's got something like 16 gigabytes of memory. It has iTunes on it, and it also, rather usefully, actually, as most things don't nowadays, actually has a headphone jack. And so at the moment, you can put your music through the hi-fi using this quite easily. Now, going back, of course, I used to have one of these. Again, marvelled that they could put all this tech into such a small item. In fact, I didn't think the music quality was actually that good ever, but still, I'm an absolute fan of its design and the whole idea of it. And then the other one is the iPad Mini. Now look at this iPad Mini. Not quite mint condition because a slight crack on the screen, but I even got the box and everything, and I looked at it, I thought, surely somebody will want this. Again, same problem, operating system won't update and so forth. So I looked on eBay, a really good condition one, boxed, £20. And I just thought, wow, I just can't get my mind around something like that was, I don't know, £200 or £300 at the time and terribly desirable. And there it's all gone. So this is the sort of thing I'm kind of grappling with at the moment. And I'm just very pleased to know this 20-year-old Fuji digital camera, I've just managed, after getting a new battery and so forth, it still works. And it's, the quality probably won't be very good, all that, but it's still there. So what would I do with this? Landfill? So that's where I've been concentrating my attention on at the moment, trying to get through this Swedish death cleaning and trying not to leave too much stuff, but also trying not to jettison things that I've always liked and probably still will for a bit longer. Anyway, that's all my ramblings for today. So as ever, can I wish you good physical and mental health, and may your God go with you.